Hello everybody and welcome to Fruits Basket Season 2, Episode 25, Season Finale Anime Review. Bloody hell, it's been a journey and the journey's not done. In case you missed it, final season next year, 2021, which is always a grand old thing. Don't know exactly when, but I'm going to guess end of 2021. I'm going to make that prediction right now, October 2021. That is just a prediction, so you know, don't expect that to be exactly right. But yeah, on to this episode. As a finale, I think it worked kind of well. We learned a lot more about Akito, including that big thing at the end, which I'll get to what I thought about the twist, but to put it bluntly, I was a bit like, okay, you know, that was sort of my reaction to the twist. I'll explain it more in detail a bit later on, but there was a lot of good stuff here. Kureno got way more interesting. Damn it, they've done it again. They took a character I don't care much for, giving them an episode, and then suddenly I care. Why you do this, Fruit Basket? Why you do this? But anyway, let's crack on with the episode, see how everything went down and everything. After we talk about the episode, I will talk about this season as a whole, although I imagine I'm going to be very similar to what I said about the first season, because it's very good still. It's still very good, you know. That hasn't changed at all. But anyway, let's get into this episode. So the episode begins with a flashback, you can tell, because they're all little and young. Akito just freaking out over Kureno with some feathers. Don't really know what that means, at this point anyway. We learn what it means a little later on, but at this point it's just Akito being really concerned that Kureno and maybe he killed some birds, you don't know. Go to the present day, Akito is really cold and he gets Kureno to come and hug him, you know, as you do. And then he says, like, you know, I don't mean it when I mean about you, right? And they're hugging, and it's like, oh, we're going yaoi? Are we going yaoi with this right now? Which is fine, it's 2020, who gives a damn? But, you know, am I surprised? Well, I mean, at this point, I was like, oh, alright, you know, I wasn't surprised. I was like, yeah, that makes sense, honestly, I can see him doing that. But, obviously, not exactly how it turned out. So what does he say? He's like, you'll always be by my side, right? And it's like, okay, there's more. At this point, it's just like, okay, there's more here than we've been led on, you know. We sort of knew Kureno was the favorite, but we didn't know why Kureno was the favorite. There's something here that we've not been told about yet. And bloody hell was there, is all I'm going to say to that. Then we go to the girls. Uo is cold and annoyed because it's cold and they got to do a graduation thing, and it's cold, and she wants to be inside in the warm where the heaters are. And crucially, crucial detail here, out of the cold, which, you know, that makes a lot of sense to me. Not sure about you guys. Cold kind of sucks, gonna be honest. We go to Toru's brief little flashback. Rin was confused because she was like, no, I was asleep on the ground, sat up, and then I was laying down. Who would have done that? And Toru's just like, might have been Haru, and she's like, yeah, you know, that makes sense. He's like, wait a minute, how do you know about me and Haru? And Toru, big brain Toru, was just like, well, they had a conversation. I sort of deduced it. She just figured it out. There was no, you know, no one told her. She proved her smarts for once. Toru doesn't always show her smarts, but when she does, it's very inopportune times. For her anyway, for her and friends. Yuki showed up to visit and showed off his plaster, be like, I did good, right? And Toru's like, yes, little pup, you did good. No, go have a treat. Basically. What else happened after that? Momoji was also there. He told her that he gave Kureno the DVD, and they're like, let's all pray that he watched it, and, you know, Uo's feelings reach him and everything, and it's like, oh, okay, we're going to end this on Kureno. I thought we were going to leave this on Kureno leaving Akito to rot, basically, and that was what I was rooting for, but I think what we got was a lot more interesting. Like, it might not be satisfying. By the way, despite everything that happened in this episode, I'm still not, like, forgiven Akito. Akito's still a terrible person. Like, that's not up for debate still. But, it's nice to at least have a little bit of reasoning. But I feel like there's still more to come, and more we need. But, no, I don't think they're going to make me forgive Akito, even, no matter how much they try and humanize him. We go to Shigure and Hattori. So, Akito has been bedridden since the new year because of the shock of basically Yuki disobeying him. That's not been good for him. He's in bed now. Shigure got shouted at by Akito, basically being like, "Why do you never put me first? You know, why do you never choose me?" Very upset, Akito, and then Shigure's all jealous. He's like, "Oh, you chose Kureno. You like Kureno more than me, so you know, why should I bother?" So I guess Shigure is jealous of Kureno. This all sort of starts to make more sense, as I said, maybe a bit later on. I can't really talk about it without talking about the last bit, and I do want to save that for the end, just in not even just in case, just because it's thematically appropriate, right? They speak vaguely about Kureno. They're like, "Hey, yeah, do you think he's..." Oh, yeah. They like don't finish sentences, and it's really annoying as a viewer, because I'm like, damn it, guys. Stop revealing secrets. We're on the last episode of the season, then I gotta wait. I could read them. I'm not gonna read the manga. I'm gonna wait, because that's more fun. Stop speaking so vaguely. And then he calls Hattori deviant, and he's like, "I don't want to hear that from you," you know? Which makes sense. Shigure, not deviant, devious. Different words mean different things. That was almost a mistake. Devious is what he calls him. And as we all know, Shigure is the most devious. I mean, I don't think that's even up for debate. That's just 100% yes. Kureno watches the DVD, and I was like, perfect. This is the moment where he decides to leave. We see flashes of their childhood though with Akito and Kureno. Akito told him he wished he was free like a bird, basically. So I guess Akito was not free to do whatever he wanted. Despite being God, he was not free. And then he watches the DVD, and throughout the DVD, he's torn, is Kureno, between Akito and Uo. Because he loves Uo, but he doesn't want to leave Akito. We get a very close-up of Akito saying, "Please don't leave me. Please don't abandon me. Don't leave me alone." I'm like, what happened? There's something got Akito to that point, you know? And I'm really curious to know what it is. Like, we know bits and pieces. Once the puzzle is all there, once all the pieces are in place and we see everything, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. But for right now, Kureno, he's at a crossroads. Or I guess watching this sort of made his decision, I would assume, though. Shigure gets a phone call that is so shocking that it makes him drop the book he's holding. He's like, well, this is a surprise. I don't know why I made him sound like that. That was kind of weird. It's Kureno on the phone, who has never called Shigure before. He's not even sure how he got his number, quite frankly. He's asking for Toru. They have a little secret conversation where we don't get to hear it because it would reveal too much about the plot, which will get revealed a bit later on, but that's fine. When Toru gets home, Shigure sends her out immediately. Obviously, he'd planned this with Kureno. He's like, "I will send her to you. Go to this location, and she will show up eventually." And then he says, "See you later," but he says it like a real evil person. He has an evil smirk on. He's like, "See you later, Toru." And I'm like, what are you up to, Shigure? I feel like that could be the subtitle. Like, Fruits Basket, what are you up to, Shigure? Because I've asked that question so many times, and I've not got any answers. I mean, I've got some answers, but I've not got enough answers. Again, I mean, we're only like 2/3 of the way through. Presumably the third season is just as long. I mean, people have told me we're on that pace, so I'm going to believe the internet, because the internet would never lie. Why would you lie on the internet? Not good. But the crucial thing here is Toru is gone to buy some envelopes or whatever it was. That's the important detail, is the envelopes. I lied, by the way. The envelopes weren't important at all. So Toru goes to the park. She plays with some birds for a bit. She runs into Kureno. Akito, we cut to. Akito is all like, "Where is Kureno? Where is he? Where is the bastard? He's left. Why did he leave? He never leaves by himself. That's really weird. What's going on?" Pretty much freaking out a little bit. The birds, back to the park. The birds flew away from Kureno, despite Kureno being the rooster. Kyo said earlier, hey, cats, they go to him. Basically, their zodiac animal attracts the animal, which has got to suck for something like the horse. Like if Reen's getting ran into by a horse all the time, that's not great. I'm trying to think which other one would be like a real pain to have them just come to you at all times. I don't know. My brain's farted and I can't actually remember any of the zodiacs right now. Snakes would be snake one. I can't actually remember. What's Shigure? Dog? He's a dog, right? I need to look this up later because my brain is actually farted right now and I've forgot them all. But yeah, the crucial detail is the birds flew away from Kureno though. He hugs her. Turns out he can't transform, despite being as. So what does that mean, right? So basically, what that means is his curse was already broken. He's not a Zodiac anymore. He's just a regular old dude pretending to be the rooster. Which begs the question for me, right? Is there another rooster somewhere? Is there the real rooster somewhere? Because I think Haru said as long as no one dies, there won't be any new ones. But if his curse is broken, does that mean there's not a rooster anymore because the rooster curse is broken? What does it mean? I have no idea. Are we going to meet a new rooster? I legit don't have a clue. We don't know how his curse broke. It just sort of happened. He was probably thinking something and that broke the curse, but he can't remember what he was thinking. Because it seems to come out of nowhere. Obviously there was probably a reason. Maybe Akito broke it, you know? Because, you know, we later see they were special friends, we'll go with. Let's just go with that. So maybe that had something to do with it, you know? I'm not too sure. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe Akito was like, hey, let's go beyond the bond, basically. I don't know. My thinking is either Kureno was thinking something and that caused it and he forgot about it, or it was Akito, and Kureno just had nothing to do with it because they were so close already, it seemed, that maybe that had something to do with it. I don't really know. I'm just making guesses, to be quite frank, and that's the fun of it. So, he was sad that he couldn't fly anymore because he was a rooster. He could fly through the sky. Can't go wrong with flying unless you crash and burn and die. That's not good. Moving on. But he was happy because he's a human again, and that's pretty good. Isn't there something that still binds him, Toru says? Not anything supernatural. This is just regular old loyalty, Toru. You know, you might have heard of it. He returns the DVD and says, no, not going to see Uo again. Your gift was meaningless, which I feel like was a bit harsh. It's like, hey, you had good times with it. Although, he's like, yeah, one day these will be insignificant memories. I won't, you know, I'll forget about it. It'll be fine. But as he's saying all this, he's crying. He doesn't mean it at all. He's saying these things. I think he's more trying to convince himself than he is trying to convince Toru. He cries, as I said. He really does want to see her because now he's human. He can hold her as much as he wants. He doesn't have to worry about turning into a Zodiac animal or anything. He just got to hold her, which is, it's a bit like, you know, feel bad for everyone else. And I think he says that at one point as well. He's like, just because I'm free and everyone else isn't, that's not right, basically. And that's not right. Gotta spread your secrets, basically. But because he's free, because he's a human, that's why he has to stay with Akito. What does that mean? When he could get away from Akito? Well, we explain that, and it's, is it what we expected? Who knows? Who knows? I didn't see any of this coming, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It caught me real off guard. Back to more flashbacks when Akito saw that the curse had broken with Kureno, or well, Akito felt it, I guess. Freaked out big time and everything. Grabbed him and pulled him into a room. He was looking at him with these distant eyes, I guess, because the supernatural bond was gone, so they don't feel as close as they once did. Akito begged him not to leave him behind, begged him to stay with him. Lots of begging. Because to Akito, the bond was basically everything they had. But in hindsight, this is sort of the best thing for them, because now they've got like a real bond and not like a supernatural forced bond. I get that that's, you know, just outsider looking in on the Soma. To them, probably don't see it like that. But, you know, that's how I look at it. It's more important than the supernatural bond. Anyway, there's a lot more. He swore, did Kureno, that he would stay with Akito forever, so hence why he can't go and be with Uo, despite the fact he really, really wants to, because he swore to Akito. If he left Akito, I think Akito would go a little bit insane. Like, he's already terrible to everybody else, but I feel like if Kureno's like the anchor, right? And if that anchor goes, that ship is going to like turn into a dragon. Weird metaphor, doesn't make any sense, but that's how I see it going. He did it all to dry those tears, and this is when things got a little bit, you know, I mean, I didn't notice it because I'm oblivious as you know, as frick, but when it had the close up on Akito crying, I was like, my second, you know, when I was getting images, I was like, hang on a minute here, hang on, and there's more hang on. Then there's, Shigure told him he should have abandoned them for both his own sake and for Akito's sake, so who knows what's going on there. And then we get like a full-on yaoi making out screenshot. I was like, okay, so it is romantic. That was like, okay, it is not just close friends. They are closer than close friends, if you get what I mean. I'm like, yaoi, cool, whatever. I'm not here to judge, It's not front and center. I couldn't watch a full-on yaoi thing. That's not me being flipping homophobic. It's just not what I'm into, But if it's in the back, who cares, If it's not overblown, I don't care. Yeah, that's basically my view on it. It's 2020, guys. Come on. But no, that's not exactly what it is. He said that he's going to live for him, and then, plot twist, him is actually a her. So Akito has been a girl this whole time, and genuinely didn't even suspect it, I'm going to be honest. Like, at first I might have, because, the voice should be a dead giveaway. But I think I'm at the point now, and a lot of people are probably like this too, where they've seen enough anime so they just know, sometimes dudes have ladies' voices. That's just the thing that happens, But fair play to the voice actor for Akito, because I had no idea. I didn't even suspect, really, outside like maybe the first few appearances. Like, genuinely, no clue, I'm not just saying that for the effect. Had no idea. Like, I was like, oh. But as I said, like, yeah, the reaction, I don't know if I was expecting something more. They were like, he's a girl. And I was like, okay, cool. Whatever. He's a girl, Would this be a bigger thing in the 90s or whatever, or whenever the original came out? No, it was like 2003. But it's just a bit like, okay, so what? He's a girl. Like I said, I love how they kept it a secret and then revealed it. The reveal just felt a little bit like, okay, why is that important? I'm sure it is important, and maybe it shows like why Akito is so vulnerable and stuff with Kureno. And sorry, yaoi fans, you don't get any yaoi after all. Haha, tricked you. It seems it's that bait and switch yaoi, I guess. But yeah, is it going to affect the story that much? It doesn't make me like Akito any less. Like, she still did all those terrible things. Like, it doesn't absolve her all her sins just because, oh no, she's a girl, so it's fine. No, you still punched Kisa, which is that's like, she's like must protect, okay? You still pushed Rin out of a freaking window, let's not forget. You still traumatized Yuki. You're gonna lock up Kyo. No, being a girl doesn't make it okay. But I mean, it does add a whole new layer to this whole thing as to what could actually be going on. Like, I feel like Akito's got some serious abandonment issues, considering, the reaction to Kureno. But I find it interesting. I hope they do something with the fact that, hey, Kureno chose to stick around when he didn't have to. Their bond is stronger than the Zodiac supernatural bond, really. That's an interesting way they could take it, personally. But yeah, that was the end of this week's episode. I'll quickly do my favourite part and talk about this episode as a whole and how I thought it was as a finale and everything. And then I'll talk a bit about the whole season, because it's the season finale, it's finale week, and it what happened to this year? I feel like we've skipped we have skipped 6 months basically. But yeah, what was my favourite part of this episode though? That's the question. So this is going to sound proper horrible when I say it, but that's not how I mean it. So my favourite part of this episode was seeing vulnerable Akito. Like, I know that sounds like, oh, you just like seeing her vulnerable. It's like, no, that's not what I mean. Basically, it's nice to see that at some point she is human, As bad as a person as she is still a human, and not some just animal, Not some monster. Although she's pretty bad. Like, I hope there's a reason for that. I want to know the reasons. I want everything laid out for me. Why is Akito like this, basically? And why can't anyone stop it, is the other thing. Who could say? I'm really curious, why does she hide her gender? That's another thing. Why'd she pretend to be a dude? Because is it something to do with the somas? Is it like the god has to be a dude, so they just decide to hide it? Is it a personal choice type thing? I have no idea. Is it like a family member made her do? I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm curious to find out. But the more I think about it, the more interesting plot points it could open up. Like, at first I was like, okay, she's a girl, woo, whatever. But now I'm just like, actually, they could do a lot with that. As to, not just, oh, she's a girl, but like, why? Why did they hide it? They could do a lot with that, actually. But yeah, I think I'll move on to how I thought about the episode. I thought it was a really good finale, ending on the twist whatever you thought of the twist, as I said, I was a bit whatever, it's fine. But the more I think about it, the more I like it, so there's that. I thought that ending on the twist is absolutely a good idea, even if we've got to wait, like, I'm going to say a year, I'm going to say October it's going to come out. Hopefully it's a bit before then. Maybe it'll be summer, maybe it'll be, you know, how long was it between season 1 and 2? I can't remember. Was it 6 months? Was it 9 months? I can't remember. It's not too important, but the gist of it is we don't have to wait too long for the, you know, the final season. It's been listed as the final season as well, and confirmed for 2021. I might have mentioned that already, but I'll mention it again. It was a good finale. The Kureno stuff was genuinely, like, at first it seemed like his choice should be really obvious. Like, he should be like, abandon Akito, go for Ulo. But now, you know, when we saw everything laid out properly from Kureno's, like, Kureno knows things that no one else does, really. But that begs the question, why was Shigure still involved? Does Shigure know that Akito is girl and have a thing for girl Akito? Is it just Akito? What? Yeah, you know, what is exactly what's going on? That's the question there. But that's all stuff that I assume will be answered in the 3rd season next year, which I cannot wait for. So good. It's so good. Let's quickly talk about the season as a whole. I don't know how long this video's been. I feel like I've been here quite a while, I'm going to be honest. Which is fine. This might be up a bit late, which, hey, who needs sleep anyway? So yeah, this season, probably better than the 1st season. It definitely opened up a lot more stuff. That's not me saying the 1st season is bad at all, by the way. The 1st season is really good as well. To me, I think they're similar quality. Like, for me, it's not like there's a gap in, like, you know, some series, right? There's a gap in your brain. Like, here's where the 1st season ends. Here's where the 2nd season starts. For me, it's like, this is all Fruits Basket, which I feel like is a better thing to think. If you think like this is all one series, rather than, oh yes, this is season 1, this is season 2, you know, for me, it just kind of blends into one for me. And I mean that in the good way, because it's all so good, and it feels like progression every episode, you know. Every episode, it's very likely that at least one character will grow in some way, and that's good. And, you know, this season introduced a few more characters, like Reen, I don't think was in season 1, and she's pretty damn cool. The student council, obviously, half of them are pretty cool, you know. I like Kakeru, I like Machi, glasses dude, can't remember his name, he's pretty bad, and Kimmy's okay, you know. That's my opinion on the student council. Made Akito more interesting this season as well, like, obviously this episode, and then, but other episodes as well, might be more to it. Yuki coming into his own this episode, that was not this season. That was all really good. Tokyo, what are they calling it? Kyoru? Kyoru sounds better. We'll go with that. Kyoru being confirmed. Damn it, that's what we live for. That's what I started. That's since episode 1 or 2, whenever it was. Kyoru's been my thing, and it's good that we're going there. It's good that we're going there indeed. Obviously I've only listed a few things there, but it's been really good overall, so I'm not going to complain. Of course I'm not going to complain. I've had a great old time. I think I am going to wrap this up though, so if you're leaving, please don't leave, stay, subscribe, watch other reviews, please, I promise, I'm just as entertaining in all of them, which to some people that might sound like off-putting, but hey, no, I promise, I'm more entertaining. No, anyway. Thank you everybody for watching this review. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That will help me out a lot indeed. You don't realize how much it actually does help. Very motivating to see the number go up, believe it or not. If you're, you know, at some point I'll be doing a video saying what I'm watching for next season. Don't exactly know what I'm going to watch yet. I got some things in mind, but not a lot actually. Like, believe it or not, there isn't too much that I'm like, yes, definitely going to watch that next season. So, might be some surprises in there. I'm fully, you know, give me suggestions for stuff to watch next season as well. Because, I mean, I might watch it, I might not. Who can say at this point? But that will be all from me. If you're, you know, I'll see you definitely next year for Fruits Basket final season. You bet your ass I'm going to be here. See you then, or whenever you come back. Take care, and bye guys.